Hi guys, my name is Mohammed, and in this video I'm going to show you the power behind Power Apps and AI form processing. I'll be developing a Power Apps application which can scan and process a common electricity bill. I'll also show you what it takes to train the model behind the scenes so that it can understand different parts of the common bill. If you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.
Let's get started with the demo over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the form processing component. And so let's go ahead and select a document, and which is actually going to be a common document here. And so I'm going to go ahead and let it upload. And right now it's actually analyzing and extracting the information from the model that I have trained. Takes a second over here, and you can actually see that it was able to parse through the whole document and then pretty much deliver me everything that I need, which is delivery charges, energy charges, taxes, total amount, due date, current monthly charges, current month charges, service charges, and I can go ahead and save this in my SharePoint list or anywhere where I want from my Power Apps here. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this information of how this whole demo is actually put together. What are the components in here which basically make it happen? So let's take a look at the Power Apps here. So I open up my app in edit mode here, and let's go ahead and go to form processing screen right here and take a look at what do I really have in here which is actually making this happen. So the power behind this is this control over here, which is the form processor. And this form processor component is basically coming from the AI component, the AI builder. And the form processor is a premium connector. The licensing for AI Builder is actually, I can actually show you that, is basically $500 per unit per month. Right now, I'm actually working in the trial version. So the trial version is going to run you for almost like 30 days, which should be okay. You can actually go ahead and explain whatever you want. So let's go ahead and take a look at this component over here. So the whole power behind is basically this component, as I said, and the model behind it. So this is the AI model. AI models usually take PhDs to go ahead and train these models. It requires complex understanding uh, Python and R. But in this case, since I'm actually selecting this form processor, Microsoft has already encapsulated the whole AI training capabilities in here and made it literally point and click. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So I'm going to go ahead and choose, uh, I'm going to go back to my Power Apps here. And on the left hand side, you can actually see that there are models under AI Builder here. This is where you got to go ahead and choose your models here. You're going to see all the different models over here. Out of the models that you see, you might have to go ahead and choose the model that you want to go ahead and edit. Mine is the Comet Bill. Let's go ahead and choose this over here, and then I'm going to go ahead and edit the model up in the top. This might take a little bit of time, and then what you see over here is a section where you need to go ahead and add documents here. And these documents, I already have 5 documents. The reason being that when you're trying to create a model, you need to go ahead and upload at a minimum of 5 documents, or as much as even 20 documents, 20 sample documents, 20 different variations of the same form, of the same document that you are training your model for. The reason being that the more the sample documents, the better it is for the model to understand all the different variations, possibilities of your document here. So I have different versions over here of the same document, and let me go ahead and show what I have over here. So these are kind of like the 5 different sample documents that you can actually see that these are different colors, or not just colors but different layouts also. 1, 2, 3, this is the 3rd one, this is the 4th one, and then this is the 5th one. So these are different 5 different samples, or 5 different examples of the same Comet build that I usually get. So the first thing that I got to do here is analyze. After I've uploaded the documents, I'm going to go ahead and analyze it. And while I'm analyzing it, what's happening here is it's basically trying to chew through all these different samples and then extract all the information and understand the whole structure, and try understanding all the valuable fields that you might potentially have over here. So this might actually take a little bit of time. So let it analyze it, and let's wait for it. So it's done analyzing it, and it found that there are 7 fields selected over here. Okay, so let me go ahead and select that and take a look at this. So this is the document. On the left hand side is the document, and on the right hand side are the 7 fields that I have previously selected. I previously selected these columns and create the demo out of it. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to go ahead and add another column. Okay, on the right hand side, just to show you, I can, like, for example, total amount. Okay, if I click on this and then go to field location, it's going to show that in the past I've actually chosen this. This is kind of like the snipping tool. You just basically go ahead and just select it. Okay, by the way, when it was analyzing it, it actually found out all these sections over here which are dotted. Do you see all these sections dotted? Anything which is like green border bars is what I've selected in the past. Okay, anything which is again dotted is basically what it found out by itself. Okay, so my columns are these 7 columns over here, and once again click on it, go to the field location, and then here's my field location over here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and choose and create another column over here, an 8th column, and it's going to be the issued date over here. So choose this, just like how I'm snipping it out, and then give it, and you can actually see that it actually was able to get the data. So issued date is the name of this new column. Click on the button here, and then I have an 8th column issue date over here. Okay, and after this 8th column, I need to confirm the fields here. When I'm confirming the fields here, what it's going to do is that it's going to have me confirm the same field in all the other samples that I've uploaded, which means all the 5 samples are remaining 4. And I can actually see that, so it's actually pointing me to the second sample. It's saying that, hey, find me the issue date over here. And on the right hand side, it actually shows me this dot over here, this red dot, which is saying that, hey, draw it out. I'm going to do the same thing in the second document, choose it, and then select the column over here, which I'm going to associate this to, which is issue date. And it says that, okay, this is good. Let's go to the third one, do the same thing in the third one. Okay, and then click on the issue date, the same thing over here, the fourth one. Okay, which is a little different. You can see that the layout over here is a little different. Issue date, choose that, and then the 5th one, pretty much the same thing. Let's go ahead and choose this, and basically issue date over here. And this is pretty much what you have. So this is done. Down at the bottom is my issue date once again, and click on done, and it's actually done selecting that. But there are a couple of the things that you have to run through in the process of creating a final model. The first thing is train it. Okay, so now that you have registered, you have put in a request for the changes that you want. So now all those changes are supposed to be understood by the model, by the complex Python and R, which you can't really see behind the scenes. Click on train, and the model is basically training. This can actually take some time, so be a little patient. And it says that your model is training. You can actually go to the details page, and that's really what I'm going to do. So one thing over here that you got to keep in mind is, even though I'm on the details page over here, but on the right hand side, it's still training the new version. So be a little patient by the time it's done, and then before we take the next step. It took this a little bit of time. I'm back from my coffee break, and then once it's actually done training, then you're gonna see that there's a publish button. The next step is publishing it. Okay, so let's go ahead and publish that. And here it is. So now it's actually published. After it's published, you can actually see on the right hand side in the selector fields that it has my new column, which is issue date here. Okay, and all the way on the right hand side is how I can use this model. I can use that in Power Automate for getting information, or I can go ahead and use that in Power Apps as well. So now I'm actually back to my Power Apps, and I'm going to add a new column over here for issue date. Okay, so let's just go ahead and select due date. Oh yeah, just one of the things is that make sure that you refresh the model here. Usually what I do is that I refresh this. This probably might take a little bit of time, or you can just go ahead and refresh, reopen the Power Apps in itself. So due date, and so I need to put in the request for issue date. So just being a little lazy here, re-adding these two columns here, okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and rename them. Okay, so let's go ahead and select the value column over here and put in the value form processor, which is a form processor up in the top. Okay, and that's what I'm actually referring to. Form processor dot fields dot issue date. Okay, that's pretty much all that I need to do over here. And for all these other columns, the value for all these other columns is really what I did. I'm just form processor one dot fields dot, the column. So it actually does a pretty good job of exposing all the information. Those columns are actually exposed as information of this component. So you basically go ahead and select it and then go ahead and run it. Now let's go ahead and run this and then see what I get out of it. Select a document here, okay, which is the comment document, and see if I can actually get an issue date now. Takes issue date right here, and then it just got my date. So it just got the issue date in itself. So this is how I can actually, train my models for form processing. And think about it this way: you're running this, I'm doing this demo over my browser, but I can actually literally take a picture, and then scan it right from my cell phone using Power Apps and accomplish this. Thank you so much for viewing this